Hello and welcome back to Scarlet Meadow. I know this is kind of a weird time for me to upload. This will probably go up on Monday, maybe Tuesday, depending on how Sunday goes. But for those of you who aren't aware, Coffee Talk kind of ended early and I still need some time to fill out for stream. And my plan was to eventually have this game replace Coffee Talk anyway. So here we are. Let's continue. I was kind of wanting to play this again anyway, if I'm being honest. This has been like not even a minute since Coffee Talk 2 ended. But load. We were here. Takes a little while, but eventually a patrol car arrives at the scene. Out of it walks two officers, Sheriff Huggabee, a friendly old man, and Deputy Franklin, a serious man wearing sunglasses despite it being in the middle of the night. Yeah, what the hell, man? See? Right there, a thing jumps out of the woods, and the shotgun goes off. What in Sam Hill? What in Sam Hill? What is that? Some kind of Pillsbury Doughboy? Why didn't I think of that last time? They fucking do look like the Pillsbury Doughboys, don't they? God damn! I was looking at a thing. Sorry. Could have been a naked maniac. Yeah, that voice suits you. As the video reveals the creature's nest, Franklin, ever so slightly, lowers his sunglasses. For a whole bunch of naked maniacs. What the heck is that? Some sort of crop circle? They killed Duke! Uh-huh. Now we're gonna have to confiscate this camera, Miss Richmond. If you don't mind, this is evidence. But Okay. Let me just turn it off, save the battery. You notice Stella pops something out of the camera. Slide it up her sleeve. You go, Deputy Franklin. You sly. I don't blame you, but damn. We appreciate your compliance with the law. We'll get a team out in the morning to retrieve the body. For now, Sheriff Huggabee and I. Please call me Earl. Please? Earl and I will escort you, and who are you exactly? That's Drac. They came into town today for the funeral. Drac, as in... Tabitha's cousin, yeah. I'd think you'd actually show. We'll escort you both back to town. There's a naked maniac on the loose. It's best you don't walk back on your own. You know what? I don't hate that idea, actually. It wasn't a... Never mind. Why aren't you going out there tonight? There's a dead body in the woods. Those things out there could attack someone else. Well, it ain't exactly like old Duke's going anywhere at this point. Morbid, but true. They'll still be out there in the morning. We only have a skeleton crew at the moment. Monday nights are Deputy Durkin's bowling nights, you understand. Man's got a bowl. We'll be on alert for any more reports of naked maniacs, but retrieving Duke will just have to wait. Now, you'll kindly step into the vehicle. We can return you safely to your home. No, do we have to ride back with you? We can just walk. Those creatures left. We'll be fine. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to insist for your own safety. Stella sighs. Okay, thank you. You're right up front with me, little lady. As if your mama permits. Sure, Earl. You can hold Gretchen on the way back. Sure, Earl. You can hold Gretchen on the way back to town. Cops usher you and Stella into the back of their squad car. You're just the cutest little thing, Miss Gretchen. Yes, you are. Jeff Hugby pats Gretchen on the head affectionately, but he remains wholly focused on Stella, a worried look stretched across her little pug face as Hugby scratches behind her ears. Stella is quiet and stiff next to you, back rigid as she stares out the window, jaw clenched. Hey, Stella, you good? She doesn't respond. Place a comforting hand on her shoulder. You reach out gently. She slightly jumps at your touch, but you can feel some of her tension ease and hear her let out a self-soothing sigh. I'll remain silent. You sit quietly watching the trees pass by in the light of the headlights. Every now and then you think you see a pale, anguished face staring out at you, before it slips back into the darkness. Soon the rumble of gravel beneath the tires gives way to an uneven pavement, and the car comes to a stop in front of a small cottage. Sometimes silence is what's needed. Sometimes you don't need to say things, you just need to let things settle or sink in. However you prefer to say it. You two stay out of trouble. Oh wait, no, that's Deputy Franklin. You two stay out of trouble. We'll have this all sorted out in the morning. Just get a good night's sleep. And you, whatever your name was. I pee freely. Fox Mulder. Drac, we'll give him my name. Drac. Sure. You're in town for the funeral. Good. Don't you go leaving before then. Imagine we'll need to ask you a few questions about everything you've seen tonight. Stella, keep an eye on them for us. Make sure they don't get into any more trouble. Wow, you don't like me and I just met you. Would you like some peanuts? Y'all have a good night now. Bye-bye, Gretchen. Y'all have a lovely evening. If any bugaboos give you trouble, you know how to get in touch. 9/11. And here you are, back in town, away from the woods, with no one but Stella in sight. Holy shit. Hell, would you ask if we could walk home? I hope you don't mind me asking, but why on earth did you want to walk home? A little blasé about everything. You been eyeing me? Are they for real? I can't say I'm surprised. I never agreed to go to the woods with you. Are you holding up? That's the smart response. Let's do that. How are you holding up? How am I holding up? I mean, not great, but I'm more worried about you. I can't believe they just implied that you're a suspect. Even after we showed them all of that footage. Even after we found that nest. It's okay. I'm not gonna let anything bad happen to you. I was there. I filmed the whole thing. At the very least, it'll never hold up in court. And it won't get to that point either, because we're gonna do a little investigation of our own. Not tonight, I hope. We've got to find out more about those things. If we can get clearer footage, or better yet, grab one of them. There's no way they can blame you for what happened. The library doesn't open for a while. But I've read every book on cryptids they have and never came across anything like this. Is there someone in town who might have... there is someone in town who might have useful information. My friend's mom. Her place isn't far. You should head over before it gets any later. I should check on Tabitha. Yeah, honestly. I should probably check on Tabitha. My friend's place is on the way back. And stopping by shouldn't take long. Sure you don't want to stop in first? I know I wouldn't want to head to that mountain road by myself after everything that's happened tonight. When you put it like that, I should really head back. And when you put it like that, sure, let's do it. Awesome, let's go. I don't want her to not like me, because I like her a lot. I hope she's still awake. Stella knocks on the door. Oh! Out of the corner of your eye, you spot a shadowy figure staring at you from across the road. You didn't hear it approach. Stella, I think someone's watching us. He turns to look. Please? Jesus. Welcome home. You're finally back where you belong. Am I? I don't think I belong here. Before you can respond, the door behind you swings open. An older woman stands in the entryway. I am reading so fast because I'm nervous. I've never read this well before. Definitely wasn't reading this well in Coffee Talk. Go home. Wayne, I can't help you tonight. You look back, and the figure is already gone. Disappeared into the shadow of the night. I'm sorry about that, Stella. Some people just can't be helped. What brings you out here so late? Who's this? Hi, Miss Forsyth. This is Drac. Is it okay if we come in? You and Miss First briefly lock eyes. She's impenetrable, and you feel as small and almost naked in her presence. There's something about her that's far beyond you. You feel no threat, no malice. Then the moment passes, and you see only the woman before you. Of course, of course. You're in luck. I just put on water for hibiscus tea. Yes. What luck. I was literally just finished playing a game about hibiscus tea, and you happen to be making hibiscus tea. Or it's Coffee Talk. Whatever, you know what I mean. Sybil? And for goodness sake, you can call me Sybil. You're an adult now, after all. Jesus. Welcome to my little nook. Oh, this place is actually nice. Feeling some of those aren't, Nice to finally meet you, Jack. I'm so sorry to hear about your mother. Vivian was such a lovely soul. She's been sorely missed in the holler. Now poor Anne is gone too. Do let me know if there's anything you need while you're in town. Offer Sybil your boiled peanuts. You held out your bag of peanuts as a gift to Sybil. She offered you and Stella tea after all, and it's only polite to offer something in return. Oh my, thank you for the kind offer, dear, but I'm afraid it's far too late for me to have something so salty. Who was that outside? Just a very sick man. You don't need to be worried about him. You knew my mom? Of course, dear. She's a good friend of mine for many years. She was such a lovely woman. You should come by sometime. I could delight with unsavory tales of her youth. You know that she died. Oh, Pearl Ann was a chatty woman. Not much went on that I wouldn't get an earful of, bless her heart. I never met Pearl Ann. You don't have to pass on your condolences to me. I have no feelings about the woman. Well, I didn't mean it to be like that. That's fair, child, but seemed like the right thing to do. We need your help. Yes, I suppose pleasantries can wait for another time. Well, we already went through all of them. What got you here so late? You seem troubled. You know about weird stuff, right? Unexplainable stuff? I'm not so sure I follow, dear. I know which oils to use for which aches. I know a bit about classical spiritualism. What sort of unexplainable things are you talking about? Duke was killed tonight by something in the woods. Oh my lord. Have you contacted the police? Yes, and they didn't take it very seriously. Not even looking for the body until tomorrow. Things out there. I don't even know how to describe them. Can't say I know much about local wildlife. I always had a brighter gift for nature than I. This wasn't local wildlife, Miss Forsyth. Here, I can show you. Stella pulls out the card she had swiped from her camera and pops it into her phone. Yep, I knew it. You sly, sly girl. I wasn't about to just let the police hold on to this. At least not before we had a chance to make a copy. Smooth. Perhaps they're gonna be mad when they find out you kept that. Believe you're withholding evidence. Smooth. Smooth. The cops wouldn't know what to do with the footage anyway. Imagine if they accidentally erased it. Exactly. I'll give it to them if they ask again, but for now, we can examine the footage for ourselves. Where was this? The mountain, the northwest. Within the town limits? Yes. I see. Oh, that's T. I was about to say, what's screaming in the background? Is there a way to make the video bigger and louder if you can? Need to plug the memory card into a computer. I could go back and get mine. No need. Kanika should still be awake. She can lend us hers. You'd better come with, Stella. I'm sure she'll be more than willing to help a friend than a nosy mother. God damn it, can you get the tea, please? Kanika's door is covered with stickers. The red is frayed from recent but failed attempts to remove them. This is a childhood room someone was unhappy to return to. Kanika, on out. We could use a little help. What, Mom? Wait, no, that's not the right voice for her. What, Mom? Oh, hey, Stella. And Gretchen, who's a good potato? And a stranger? Yeah. What are you doing in my house? A fair response. I don't know what voice to give her. Oh, Kanika. You hold out your bold peanuts. Generosity is the best way to make new friends. No. Tabitha's cousin. Yep. Sweetie, you were wondering if we could borrow your laptop. Stella and her friend have a video to show us. It's really important, Kanika. Okay. My room's a mess, but I'll just bring it up there. I have no idea what voice to give her. Heads up, Kanika. This is graphic. Duke got killed out in the woods last night. It's on the recording. What? Are you serious? Duke's dead? We can watch this without you. You know, I have a harder stomach than any of our friends. I'm pressing play. Silence washes over the room as the video plays. Hello, what the hell is this? Look, man, I was there, alright? I'm sorry either of you had to see this. Drac and I... Oh, wait, that's Stella. Sorry either one of you had to see this, but Drac and I have no idea how to make heads or tails of it. Stella, are you okay? Did you get hurt? Oh, she has a Sailor Moon shirt. Cute. I'm fine, really. I'm okay. I'm fine too, thanks for that. Well, I'm not fine. I'll remain silent. You remain silent. Poor Duke. Poor Bo. Has anyone told him yet? We talked to the police. I hope they told Bo, but Earl and Deputy Franklin didn't seem to be in much of a hurry to do anything. I'll call him later tonight. But for now, we need something more serious to discuss. Far more serious. What happened in the woods? We weren't supposed to see any of that. Not wrong. There's things my grandmother's called... These things, my grandmother called them ditchlings. They are a terrible omen. A sign of great suffering and destruction to come. Come on. Whatever's doing this is serious. Stop scaring Stella and Drac with this Haley Po crap. Haley Po? Is that something I should know? I live in the Appalachians, so... And I've never seen that word before. Tailypo. Tailypo is a creature of North American folklore, particularly in Appalachia. Alternate names include tailybone, tailbones, tale, or tail, tailypo, and tailypo. Okay, so it's like a cryptid. And to describe it, at least according, let's see if I can get images, better image. This specific image I'm looking at here, it's a drawing. It looks like kind of a cat and a rat mixed together. It has a rat's tail that's pretty long, and it's has a tie around it. It's like a rat-like tail. Okay, so I guess they're supposed to be like, oh, I've heard of this story. I think somebody did art of it, or like they just found furry art of it. Okay, cool, I guess. But essentially, I'll give you a quick rundown. So essentially, this thing, like, or at least the story I heard, this thing got into this farmer's house, and it was like, I guess, torturing him in some way, and he got kind of sick of it, and he decided to hunt it one night. And he ended up cutting off its tail, and he decided to cook it and eat it, and he did. And let's just say that that thing wasn't very happy, and it clawed into his stomach and got its tail back. And I guess it can speak, because the version I remember, the thing kept saying, "I want my taily tail." I remember that voice specifically because the person who told it to me said it in that voice. And then when it finally got its tail, it said, "I got my taily tail." Anyway, that's not really important, I guess. The man just died. Have some respect. Nika, sweetie, let your mother talk. The creatures themselves are harmless to people, despite the grisly scene in the woods. How can you say that? Duke is dead. An unfortunate accident and nothing more. Not sure if I would call it that. Just as birds flock before a storm, the ditchlings congregate where tragedy is soon to fall. To see one is to be cursed by fate. To see so many in one place is... Sybil holds her silence. Jesus, Mom, they've clearly had a rough night. I don't need this. It's okay, Tanika. Or Kanika. This is helpful. Scarlet, whatever these things are, they aren't magic. We can't rule that out. Not after what we saw. Yeah, for real. But fine. Let's focus on what we know. Whatever they are, they're doing something to these animals. You saw that nest. What were those growths? I saw something living in that chicken. Maybe it's some sort of parasitic larvae stage? Part of their life cycle? I don't know what voice to give her. I'm trying, I promise. I'm trying not to be offensive. But I don't want to jump to any conclusions about something like this. About something this out there. Not without doing some research or talking to a biologist. I'm sure there's a rational explanation that clears all this up. Oh dear, I'd forgotten entirely about the tea I put on. Let me fix you up a couple of cups. It'll help soothe your nerves. I don't know. It's getting late. Should let Drat get some rest. We're in them ragged today, with all that hiking and running through the woods in terror. You don't have to leave on my account. Yeah, I'm ready to pass out. I should get back. I need to go check on Tabitha. Thanks for the help, Sybil, and it was nice to meet you, Kanika. Sorry I had to be under such weird circumstances. Hopefully next time we meet it will be a little less terrifying. We should all hang out this week, Kanika. Maybe we could even get Reese to chill with us. I could really use it, but for now, thank you both so much for everything. Let me get you some house-made peppermint tea to go. It really does wonders to soothe the soul. Bye, Stella. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? And call me if you need to talk. Thanks, Kanika. I'll see ya. Bye, Drac. It would be better just to get... It's excellent iced or warm, though with the night getting chillier, warm will probably be best. Helps wake up the bones. Be careful out there. Both of you. Sybil turns and closes the door behind her. Alrighty. Let's head back home. My home, I mean. And here we are. You're welcome to stay the night if you want. I should probably head back before Tabitha has a conniption. I should probably head back and check on Tabitha. That's sweet of you. Are you sure you're okay heading back up the mountain alone? I'm terrified of Tabitha. And those things in the... I'm more terrified of Tabitha than those things in the wood. Sybil said those things were harmless. Sybil said those ditchlings are harmless. I think I'll be okay. It's not far. Well, I won't stop you if you really want to go back. Here's my number. Call me when you get there, okay? And good luck. You and Chella exchange numbers. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, we're in this together. Yeah, we're in this together. Yeah, we are. Stay safe, buddy. We begin the long back up to the Scarlet estate alone. Almost home. You've made it. Your salvation in sight, you make a dash for the door. As you reach for the knob, the door swings up. Tabitha. Where the hell have you been? I forget the... Called you back as soon as I had reception. Did you? I didn't notice. Do you know anyone named Dwayne? I employ over 100 people. I'm sure I know a Wayne. I watched a man die tonight. I went into the woods with this girl I met to find some cryptids. It ended us with us watching a man die. So you met Stella then. That explains everything. It's just you got you all worked up. I'm going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. Possible. Wait, you don't want to hang out? Can you tag me in? Okay, good night. You're alone in the estate. The sound of the wind whistling through the house gives you an uneasy feeling in your guts. Probably best you turn in. Gotta leave the night behind you. As you settle into your room, remember that Stella asked you to call her once you got back. Call her, yeah. You pull out your phone and call. Hey, how are you? Sounds a little different, like she's been crying. Did you make it back all right? Yeah, how are you? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm alright. How are you? Totally fine. I mean, fine as I could be, I guess. You don't have to worry about me. Get some Z's, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. In the relative safety of the uncomfortable bed, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else. You can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments. For now, safe, and you're warm. Eventually, the sun will rise and chase away the monsters, make them seem like nothing but bad dreams. Maybe tomorrow, if you're lucky, you'll wake up in the normal world, boring week in the mountains with your sour-faced cousin. It's a nice thought, but deep down you can't help but worry that things will only get worse. Everything cut to black really suddenly. That wasn't just you. And that's the end of episode 1. Damn. I love this art style. Oh, something else about this game that I figured out. They're the same people who made the multiple story thing, The Princess and the Tower. It's the one where it's kind of like a reversal of roles, where the damsel in distress is actually the villain. Because you go in there, it's complicated and weird, and I don't want to do it. But check out their games. These games are good. Oh, I think I know who that is. That might be Reese. Why there's blood in this room? Alpacas? I think so. Something watching. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. And he isn't happy. I see you hiding behind there. Yeah, that's right. You slink back. I have a machete. No, usually when doors are locked like that, it's for a reason. I'm gonna end up in that room at some point, aren't I? Scarlet Hollow. That was one hell of an introductory episode. God damn. This is the end of episode 1. Shinobi Darkness, Demonic Raven. I didn't read the rest of those. There were 3 achievements I got. Episode 2 awaits. I think it's here. If you'd like to continue with the world state in episode 2, please save your game now. I did exactly that. Continue. Would you like to see a recap of episode 1 before you start episode 2? Considering it hasn't actually been that long, I'm gonna go with a no, but next time will probably be a yes. You open your eyes. The sun has risen, the birds are singing, you're still alive, and for now you're safe. The gaze wanders across the room, to the windows, and to the woods beyond. You wonder if the monsters are lurking there. Right now, just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave the crumbling estate. Familiar unease settles in your gut, tangling into a knot of anxiety, wriggling, as the events of last night play out in your head. Can't help but remember Duke, slumped against a tree, pieces of him scattered across the clearing. You're not sure if you'll ever feel okay again after what you've seen. Can't stay in bed forever. Hunger pulls you from the clammy depths of the mattress. Check on the possum. You open the door to check on the little possum. Met yesterday. Oh good, he's still there. That's nice. You reach down and pets the little man. He immediately plays dead. Yeah. You leave him to his theatrics and close the door. Let's text Stella. Probably a good idea to check in with your new friend. You can't imagine she's holding up very well. Hey, how you holding up? There's a picture of a tired cat you found on the internet. Hey, how you holding up? That seems appropriate. It might take her a minute to get back to you. In the meantime, look around in the closet. Great, the doll didn't move during the night. Maybe it isn't haunted after all, though after everything you went through yesterday, that's hardly a consolation. Turn to your room. Turn back to your room. Look out the window. Creep towards the window carefully, not to be seen by whatever might be lurking in the garden. For a second, you thought you saw movement. It could have been an animal. It could have been something else. Whatever it was, it's gone now. Yeah, I swear to God, I did actually see something here. I was focused on the text, and then it was gone. Leave the window. Maybe you'll head out and investigate after you finish waking up. Get dressed and head to the kitchen. Time to start your day. You're back in the kitchen. Fro eyes you from her favorite spot on the counter. Excuse me, ma'am, but may I pet you? Pet your beautiful fur? Part of you hopes that flattery might win her over, as silly as that may seem. You are, after all, talking to a cat. Fro merely flicks her tail. Past her doesn't look promising. Hey. Did you know the police called me this morning? You've only been in here one day. You've already had a run-in with the cops. The cops don't matter. Something is coming for this town. I need people to start listening. Duke and Stella didn't take my intuition seriously last night, and look where that landed us. I need you to believe. You don't need to spin me tall tales to wiggle your way out of this. Just be careful and remember that your actions have consequences for the people around you. I know, I'm trying. Despite her dismissal, you catch a brief flick of doubt in Tabitha's eyes. It's almost as if, for a brief moment, she believed your warning. I don't have the energy to spend this week cleaning up after your messes, so just don't make any extra work for me, okay? Did the cops say anything about Duke? Did they find the body? Buddy? They didn't say anything about a body, but apparently he never went home last night. And they had quite a few questions about you, Drac. And before you ask, don't worry, I told them that you're an upstanding citizen. Thanks for having my back. Sure, what else is family for? Oh, she's smiling. What is up with you and Stella? We just have history. That's all. I don't need to explain myself to you. I'm sorry. Good. I've got to get to work. But listen, better stay out of trouble today. I want you home by sunset. I don't want to hear complaints. Just do what I ask and we won't have any more problems. Tabitha takes a few steps towards the door. Sunset. Cousin huffily exits the kitchen. Her footsteps fade down the hall, ending in characteristic creaks then slam of the front door as it opens and closes behind her. Once again, you're all alone. You're the only human in the estate. Text from Stella. Hey Drac, thanks for checking in. Hope you're alright, all things considered. I'm doing okay. Not great, but hanging in there. Up most of the night on cryptid forums, but no good answers yet. I'm at the library if you want to join. I have scones. Scones, you say? I'm not ghosting her, that's rude. Scones, say no more. And that's that. Time to start your day. Well, since I'm already going to eat, as your eyes wander to the garden door, you shudder, remembering the bleak glimpse of something you saw in the upstairs window. Probably just a raccoon, but the uncertainty of what you saw gnaws at you, compels you to investigate. You to prove there was nothing. At the very least, you don't see anything now. Investigate further. Wander further into the garden, trying to pinpoint the spot where that thing had been lurking, if indeed there had been a thing to begin with. Take it all in. The garden is peaceful, but undeniably eerie. Here, more than anywhere else, you're surrounded by the ghosts of what this place used to be. The greenhouse sits in the midst of an overwhelming greenery, unreachable from years of neglect. Glass clouded and cracked. Statues reach out from within the seas of weeds as it begins to recede. I didn't read that right, and I don't remember what the word was. And mostly, strikingly, behind a pair of rusted metal gates at the very peak of the mountain sits a graveyard. You can just make out a few headstones, Scarlet name carved deep, proud into their faces. You notice what a good view someone would have of your window. They stood where you're standing right now. Check the ground for clues. You crouch down, pushing aside the greenery to examine the soft earth. Bootprint, big bootprint, and it looks like some kind of viscera. Your thoughts turn to the specter from the night before. Snap a quick photo, just in case it comes in handy later. Text it to Stella. You send the photo to Stella. Like what I found in the garden across from my window. No way this is Tabitha-sized. You head back inside. Time to figure out what to do with the rest of your day. Hit the town. Let's go ahead and go to town. Ain't no sense in chilling here. You walk back to town. The walk back to town is much less pleasant today than it was yesterday, where you didn't yet know that the woods were full of monsters and strange men who know your name. Stare anxiously into the darkness between the trees, searching for any signs of movement, but the woods are still, at least for now. The autumn-tinged mountains sprawling for miles in every direction now feel less like beautiful scenery and more like the walls of a cage. Your phone buzzes in your pocket. Geez, that's creepy. All the more reason to come to the library. Look who I found at the library. Said she was up all night thinking about the video. Adding you to a group text. I'm only here because it's quieter than the store. Or was, and I'm trying to figure out what animal that could be. I don't buy into the Harbinger of Doom stuff. We know what animals they are. They're ditchlings, and they are Harbingers of Doom. Sounds like they're having fun. Can't wait to solve this mystery. Ditchlings aren't real, Stella. I'm not gonna play the skeptic. I'm in this 100%. Listen, if I saw those things in real life, I would freak out. I would assume that the person who told me they were ditchlings was right, because they seem to know. On my way. Almost back to town. Make it back to town in one piece. No creatures jumped out at you, no scary men blocked your path. The sight of other people is comforting, helping you forget the things you've witnessed, as if they happened to someone else. I forget his voice, or their voice. Fuck. Oh, hey Drac. Hey, actually, I think that's right. We were just talking about you. I stopped by Sybil's to pick up her new tea blend. Well, it's the biggest thing to come into town since the coal mine. Folks have been absolutely buzzing about you. I don't know how to feel about that. You went out with Stella last night, right? Something happened out there? She barely even waved when she walked by. Tell Avery the whole truth. Might as well. Stella and I went into the woods to try and find a skunk ape, but we ran into something way worse. Actual monsters. Sybil said that they're called ditchlings, but whatever they are, they killed Duke and have been mutilating the local wildlife. Oh, slow down. Duke's dead? It's true, I'm afraid. It's awful. Has anyone told Bo? Yes. He's taking it as well as you can imagine. We're going up to check on him today. Poor lad. Can't believe you had to see that. Tell you what, I'm on break for the next half hour. How about you swing by the diner? Winnie can fix you some of Sybil's new blend and try to calm your nerves. It's Chaga Lemon Bomb. It always helped me on bad days. We need to talk about what happened. Oh dear. Anyway, it's up to you. See you around, Drat. See you, Sybil. Take care, Avery. I better tell Avery the truth about this. I'd better get back to it myself. I'm glad I was able to catch you this morning. I wanted to see how you were holding up. Please, don't hesitate to stop by if I can be of any help. We both know that there's something horribly wrong about this. Why are you so calm? Don't mistake my calm demeanor for complacency. We all have our parts to play in this. I trust that you and Stella have what it takes to get to the bottom of it. I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I've got things I need tending to. Stay safe, Drac. God bless. Probably have a bit of time before you need it at the library. Swing by the diner. Yeah, I'll swing by the diner for a minute. Diner is a little quiet today, but the air is still heavy with the tantalizing smell of breakfast. Talk to Avery. Get coffee with Avery. Yeah, why not? We sat into the booth across from Avery. Hey there, stranger. Or you can exchange words when he slides a cup of fresh mug of tea in hand. God, what voice should I can't. So many voices. Heard you might need this. The answer to 29 down was oink, by the way. What in the coolest pen sound? How was that sound a pen makes? Wait, pen like pig pen? Are you kidding me? How was I supposed to guess that? I don't know why you even bother with those things. They're just gonna frustrate you. It's just something to do to fill the time. But maybe I should switch to Sudoku. When he leaves Avery, complimenting daily newspaper puzzles, returning to her seat behind the counter. So, thanks for telling me about last night. If you want to really get into the grisly details, you can tell me, I won't judge. You take a gentle sip of your tea. Sybil was right. You can already feel it begin to ease some of the strain and tension from last night's events. Oh, a lot of folks take a chaga so quick. The fungus that grows on birch trees around here. It's supposed to be super healthy. Definitely makes for a challenging drink. Follow me in prayers. Tell Avery about this. What if you don't believe me? I could tell you about last night, but what if you don't believe me? I'm not here to judge. I'm here to listen. That's a fair point. I will tell you everything. He's gonna learn every part of my deepest secrets. You spill the beans and the tea. Glad to have someone to talk to about the horrors you've witnessed. Wow. This heavy stuff. No wonder Stella's. Monsters in the woods? May not have lived here long. I've never heard anything like that happen around these parts. Can't say I like the thought of it. Now that I think about it, the cops came in for their morning coffee. They mentioned something about going out in the woods looking for something. Must have been Duke. They seemed so disconnected from it. Figured it couldn't be very serious. Wow. Small town cops not knowing how to do their job sounds about right. I don't want to say any of these because I don't think the cops are in on it. They didn't really seem suspicious, just distant, just not really caring. And this just seems straight up rude. Avery sighs and chuckles. You're not wrong. As someone who didn't grow up here, it was a little jarring to move to a place where the cops literally do just sit around drinking coffee all day long. Like a cartoon. worst they usually have to deal with is property disputes. You'd be surprised if they actually knew what to do in a real emergency. I hadn't pegged you as a transplant. Where are you from? I moved here from Charlotte. Gosh, 3 years ago now? Maybe a little more, lost track. Aunt Winnie offered me a place to stay and a job. It was out to pass on that sort of generosity. To be honest, it still feels like I just moved in. Practically everyone apart from the Cole folks grew up in this, so it's like I'm the perpetual new kid. Don't get me wrong, folks here are plenty polite and friendly, but there's a shared history I'll never be a part of. Maybe you're more at home here than you think. Stella really talked up your party yesterday. I don't think she'd have done that if she didn't think you were really part of the town. Could be that you're getting in your head about fitting in. Hey, you know, thanks. I hadn't actually thought about it like that. You get out of here before things get any worse. You should get out of here before things get any worse and take me with you. Let me know if you happen across any leads. Yeah. We're on the case, but I hardly know where to start. Let me know if you hear anything. Definitely. Oh man, looks like my shift has started. Hopefully the Chaga's had a chance to start working its magic. The diner's where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes on. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters. Anything else strange or unusual. Avery slips out of the booth. My voice is getting quieter and quieter as I use his voice. I noticed that. I think it's also getting like deeper. I can feel it graveling a lot. Avery slips out of the booth, giving a friendly half wave before disappearing into the back. I like them a lot. You leave the diner, ready to continue your day. Well, let's see. Leave the diner, ready to continue? Let's head to the library. I don't need anything from the general store yet. You went through the former town hall. What once must have been a stately foyer has since been converted into rows of shelves. Meeting rooms and offices long ago gave way to assorted references, collections, and reading areas. Excuse me. Oh, hey, you made it. Settle in with Stella and Kanika. Just Stella at point at all the books before heading over to the table. No, I'm not gonna be mean to her. I like her a lot too. Go over to Stella and Kanika's table and settle in. You made it! Glad you could join us. What's that say? Ghost Tracks? San Antonio, Texas. I actually don't know what that is. Morning, Drac. You look tired. Yeah, the state isn't the easiest place to get a good 8 hours. Tried to fall asleep last night, all things considered. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'm pretty amped up, actually. I've never done a Scooby-Doo before. Kanika, you can't just tell someone they look tired. Remain silent. Hard to fall asleep last night, all things considered. I like how this game lets you decide on your backstory. Partly, not entirely, but partly throughout the story. Like when it asks you some things, it like changes your backstory and stuff, and it's really cool. I really like that idea. It was pretty hard to sleep last night, all things considered. I can't say I got a wink myself. Yeah, same. Anyway, I guess we should get started. Oh, before I forget, we've got to talk about that photo you sent me this morning. Nika, check this out. Drac found this on Tabby's garden this morning, right in line the side of their room. What in the world is that liquid around it? It looks like pus. Do you think it's Wayne? Do you think it's Wayne? That creep who keeps coming around my mom's tea room? He snuck up on us last night and called out Drac by name. And those boost prints match up with the mining getup. Whoa, apparently I missed a lot last night, huh? Gretchen. Scones. Wonder if there was any wonder if there's any connection between that guy and what happened in the woods last night. Like what? I mean, I don't have anything specific, but we do have the whole prophecy of impending doom angle to explore, and this photo is weird. I can't stop thinking about those splatters on the ground. If he's sick, maybe it's from the creatures you encountered. Hey there, strangers! That seems appropriate for his getup. Wait, let me try that again. Hey there, strangers. And literal stranger. Offer your boiled peanuts. Extend the bag of peanuts to the librarian in gesture of friendship and good faith. I don't know what to say. Is this a gift? I'm allergic to peanuts. Not seriously allergic, but they give me a rash. Hey Oscar, this is Drac. You know, Tabby's cousin? Oh, I should have known you were a Scarlet. It looks so much like Vivian. Not that I knew her very well. I was still a little kid when she left. That Scarlet resemblance, it's, strong. I'm Oscar. I'm Oscar Gutierrez, Chief Librarian and only librarian. I really hope I said that right, dear God. Oscar's amazing. He's practically built this library from scratch. Yeah, I'm a little jealous what the kids around here get to grow up with. I don't know how good they have it. Back when I was in elementary school, all the library had was a couple of shelves of boring books donated by old people. Y'all are too kind. But speaking of kids, have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but he hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. You know the crowd. You know the crowd she hangs out with. They're good kids at heart. I'm sure they're just up the old Maxwell place doing teen stuff. I went up there plenty of times in my day, but I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled. What's the old Maxwell place? It's this great old abandoned spot. We used to hang out there when we were teens. I can't believe I used to be so reckless. The floors there were like Swiss cheese. I should really have a talk with Rosalina when she gets home. I don't like the thought of things getting into mischief with all this ditchlings in the woods. I'm sure she's fine. I'm sure she's fine. You might not want to let her run off like that anymore, though. It's not as safe as it usually is around here. Is that so? Kika's right. Some weird stuff going on out in the woods. That's actually why we came in here today. You ever heard of a creature called the ditchlings? They're a type of cryptid that shows up around places on the brink of disaster. They kind of look like Pillsbury Doughboy. They kind of look like if the Pillsbury Doughboy was a creepypasta. Wow, I'm not gonna lie, this dialogue feels legit. Like this feels like an actual conversation I can imagine someone having with someone else. It's insanely good. Nika's mom told us about them last night after seeing some footage we got in the woods. I need to look up ghost tracks. I need to look up what that is. I want my daily book. Oh, it's a haunted set of train tracks in San Antonio, Texas. Oh yeah, and there's the car that's on her shirt with all the handprints on the back. That is creepy as hell. Ditchlings? Doesn't ring a bell. Dang, what a shot. Okay, if you were, say, trying to predict a horrible disaster that might befall our town, where would you start looking? Well, they say history repeats itself, so I probably try and figure out what sort of disaster this region typically falls prey to. Flooding, maybe? Of course, if you're further up the mountain, that's not usually an issue. Should I be worried about something?
I don't know yet. I'll be right back. Gonna go nab some more books. Behave while I'm gone, Gretchen.
You don't have to worry about her, Stella. You're such a good dog. You don't have to worry about her, Stella. You're such a good dog, aren't you, Gretchen? Here, have a biscuit, old girl. Gretchen inhales a soft biscuit, drool drinking from her toothless mouth as she swallows it whole. I'm pretty sure Stella's barking up the wrong tree, Oscar. I don't think you have to worry about any horrible calamity befalling this town. But she's right about the weird stuff. There's definitely something unusual going on out in the woods. If I were you, I would keep my loved ones close in the coming days. I'm gonna try calling Rosalie. I'm sure she's fine, really. Don't mind Drac, they've been hanging out with Stella too much. Rosalina's a smart kid. She knows better than to go around getting into trouble. And we'll make sure to keep our eyes peeled. I like this voice for her. Thanks, Kanika. And Drac, you see a 13-year-old girl with a black braid and glasses? You let her know her dad is worried about her. Oscar anxiously wanders off, phone in hand.
Got him. Just grabbed a whole mess of local history books.
Stella sets a massive pile of books on the table and pulls up a chair.
Alright, it got really quiet. This is gonna be so much faster with the two of you here to help. Got our snacks, got our source documents. Let's get the research party started.
Reading awaits. Flip through Veins of Scarlet. Yeah. Forced into retirement at age 50 due to the war injury from his time in the Indian Wars, exacerbated by his short stint serving as captain in the Confederacy, Silas Scarlet also lost his eldest two sons to the bloodiest of wars, leaving his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson Scarlet, to take charge of the mine. That's definitely a history reference. Also, I must point out that the bloodiest war, I think technically in American history, it was either World War I or the Civil War. It was one of the two. I'm not entirely sure which. I want to say it was the Civil War. Because they had better technology when it comes to offense, but they had no body armor whatsoever. It might have been World War I too. That one was insane as well. Under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry. Managed to evade the coal union for decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country. Andrew Scarlet built the surrounding town into what it is today with expensive stone buildings, a bustling main street, and overseeing it all, the elegant Scarlet Estate. It was built in 1895. Yeah, it was, bloodiest war was definitely 1865, so they were talking about the Civil War. I don't know. I'm not gonna question it because didn't one of them serve in the Civil War? No, it was the Indian War. Did someone served in the Confederacy, but I can't remember. The largest and finest feat of architecture in the region. Culminating in the tragic collapse of 1918, it was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in a fatal collapse and deaths of over 160 men and boys, some as young as 10. The casualties including Andrew Jackson Scarlet's son Theodore, his brother Enoch V. Scarlet, who had taken over for their aging father during the bustle of the war, managed to pull the mine from the brink of ruin, thereby saving the town. Oh, Theodore, his brother. His brother Enoch had done the thing with Scar. Okay. So, this is how your family made its fortune. A few entries catch your eye. There was a hunter who lived in a tiny cabin in the middle of the woods, all alone with his hunting dog. One night, after a particularly bad week of hunting, both their stomachs empty, the hunter spied something. A small creature had gotten into the cabin through a hole. Before he could even figure out what it was, he'd drawn his gun and fired it, hunger guiding his action. But it was quick, and back through its hidey hole, and out of sight, leaving only its long black tail shot off by the hunter's rifle. Yeah, this is a story I was told. I think my version was he cut it off with a knife. Like he quickly grabbed his knife and chop. Guess this'll have to do, he said to his dog, and threw the tail in a pot to cook a soup. He and his dog ate well that night, and the tail filling them both up. The hunter crawled into bed, satisfied. The dog curled up at his feet. He woke up to the sound of long nails scrabbling across wood. His dog was nowhere in sight, only a rumpled spot in the covers where he had been. And in the gloom, two big yellow eyes staring right at him. I want my daily bow, a high, hoarse voice croaked from the darkness. Go away, he screamed at the thing. But it stepped closer to him, still shrouded in darkness. The sound of long claws dragging across hard wood accompanied its movements. I want my daily bow, the creature growled again. I'll get my dog after you, the hunter squeaked, his voice catching in his throat with fear. But there was no dog to be seen. I want my daily bow. Before the hunter could so much as scream, the creature leapt from the darkness. Long claws stretched out towards the hunter. No one is sure what the creature did to him that night. The next morning, all that remained of the hunter, his dog in the cabinet, the chimney standing alone in the woods. Wampus cat. Often linked to Cherokee legends, and some cite the Wampus cat as the originating with the story of a woman who sought vengeance against a monstrous cat demon for driving her husband mad. This is really interesting because I grew up in this region, so learning stuff like this is actually really interesting. This is stuff I've heard before, but haven't really either just heard it in passing or heard it a long time ago. So being able to listen to this and actually like get an idea of like what the legends like were like is really interesting. The fucking the person who made this game did a goddamn excellent job, so they get my applause for that. He hunted it down, and by wearing a bobcat mask, tricked it into using its own vile magic on itself, freeing the people of the region from evil. Others say the creature comes from the story of a woman who wore the pelt of a wildcat. Oops! For her indiscretion, she was fused with the pelt, transformed into a creature that was neither human nor cat, forced to wander the wilderness alone, feared by all. Her calls are those of great sadness, serve as a warning to anyone who dares go against tradition. Tommyknockers, that sounds British. Enigmatic cave-dwelling creatures primarily known for causing mischief. Tommyknockers originated in Cornish mythology, spreading to the United States when Cornish immigrants began working in Appalachian mines. They're named for the knocking that can be heard from seemingly within the walls before a cave-in. I've heard of this. I've heard of these before too. According to some, the knocking serves as a benevolent warning. Others believe that the creatures take stolen hammers to the supports of the mine and collapse them on whoever is unfortunate enough to still be inside. They are traditionally thought to be Impish, leprechaun-like beings. Some claim they are the spirits of dead miners, forever cursed to haunt their final resting place. I'm done here. Close the book and put it back. Flip through Silas Scarlet, soldier, woodsman, leader. Silas Everett Scarlet was born to Colonel Everett J. Scarlet in 1818. One of 12 siblings, he grew up in the eastern North Carolina during tumultuous time in the state's history. Not much is known about his life before he joined the army in 1836. He quickly rose through the ranks, in part due to his father's connections, but also due to a particularly ruthlessness for which he received the nickname Bloody Silas Scarlet. Federal government granted the now Captain Silas a tract of bounty land in exchange for his service in the Indian War, and he settled into the hills of North Carolina in 1841. The land would be called Scarlet Hollow. Okay, so this takes place in North Carolina. I live in East Tennessee, which is like, I think it's maybe a 4-hour drive, so it's not really that far away. But it started as a simple log cabin, built by Silas's own 2 hands, occupied by his family of 10. Silas, his wife, Mary Joseph Scarlet, and their 8 children. Logging business brought many workers and fellow landowners to the hills, but it wasn't until Silas discovered ripped seams of coal running underneath the entire region that Scarlet Hollow really put on them. He saved what he could and bought the surrounding hillside at a great discount, cleverly hiding what he knew about the land's true value. Thus, he had all the resources to found Scarlet Hollows, now famous. We're finished with this one. I think I'm all done. Let's check in. I found fuck all except history about my family. Alright, if we're going with what... Wait, no.
Alright, if we're going with what Kanika's mom told us last night, I think we can rule out any natural disasters as what brought the ditchlings here. But not nuclear incidents. Looks like our state has a history with those.
My state does too. Hell, I live near one of the towns that was... I live near Oak Ridge, which, for those of you who don't know, was a pretty big contributor in the Manhattan Project. It's called the Secret City because it was hidden by government officials for a long time. Until it wasn't. I don't know when it became not a secret city, but you know.
What about y'all? Find anything?
Hi! Before you can respond, a handsome black cat leaps onto the table. Stella quickly slams her book shut.
Hey Pixel. You might want to close your book. He loves to rip up any... You might want to close your book. He loves to rip up any paper he finds. Don't worry. Little guy. Don't worry, little guy. I didn't forget your treats.
Pixel immediately goes to town on Stella's treats. He's munching at nothing. Sorry if Pixel's bothering y'all. Hopefully he hasn't gobbled up any of our books. You know, I could give everybody here a proper accent for this region because I live here, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to. He can't stand the thought that people might pay attention to anything that isn't him. I'll leave Pixel be. You decide to leave Pixel be. The cat curls up on the table, fast asleep. Aww. Alright, I'd better get back to shelving. Let me know if y'all need anything.
There's a cult here.
Talk about Vans of Scarlet, talk about... Okay, let's... Any luck with Rosalina? Have we got any luck with Rosalina? No, not yet. I knew a teen would be a handful, but I didn't think it'd happen overnight. I'll probably head out once you're all done and check on her usual haunts. What was that you said about nuclear incidents? You were talking about the Goldsboro thing, weren't you?
Yeah, apparently in the 60s, A B-52 carrying a live warhead broke up midair and dropped a couple of bombs.
Ah,
What?
fascinating bit of history there. The first of the two bombs landed upright after its parachute got caught in a tree. Thankfully, it didn't go off. At the time, the government claimed that the bombs were unarmed, but later came out that the only thing preventing the detonation was a single electrical switch which failed to trigger on the descent. That's scary to think about.
And 6 years later, the second bomb still hasn't been recovered.
Right. It's conventional explosive disintegrated. Okay, well, if I remember correctly, they just buried it and sealed it up. I didn't read the rest of that. I don't think nuke is part of our skill set. The bomb's somewhere else. Why would there be so many ditchlings here? So the nuke made the ditchlings. Case closed. Looks like we got it, folks. I don't think so. Ghostboro is almost 400 miles away from here.
Looks like you never know with radiation.
Look, you never know with radiation. We actually know quite a bit. It just melts you. It doesn't make monsters. And a 60-year-old bomb isn't going to explode on its own hundreds of miles away and kill us all. All it takes is a fallen branch to hit the wrong part.
You never know. There could always be a whole underground society of bomb-worshipping mutants just waiting to blow it up.
I've missed this. Talk about veins of Scarlet. So about the coal mines here. Kanika visibly shudders.
I get cold sweats just thinking about being in a place like that.
I feel for the guys who work up there. I could never. I couldn't either. I've already explained this in one of these episodes.
Speak for yourself. I love a good crevice.
We're gonna slide right by that. What happened after the mine collapse? The book just kind of glosses over that. There was a union for a little bit, but it didn't last. Not a whole lot written about the past century here. Yeah, the Scarlet Hollow mine isn't exactly the most ethically run business.
No offense or anything. I'm sure Tabby runs the mines better than Charles Shaw did.
Still hasn't let the union in, though. There's a reason she and I don't talk. Union busting mine collapsed from poor working condition. Color me shocked.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
That's what the sculpture out front is for, commemorating all the men and children who died that day. Every kid in Scarlet Hollow learns about the collapse of 1918. Our teachers love to emphasize how many children they had working down there, probably to try and show us how good we have it or whatever. Low bar if you ask me.
You know, that could be what the ditchlings are warning us about, another collapse. Writing it down a list of potential disasters.
Yeesh, Stella, that's morbid. Besides, it was all Charles Shaw's fault. The labor market is way more strict now. There's no way you can get away with that kind of safety cutbacks he pulled. I don't know, have you seen the state of Scarlet Manor? Kinda terrible, actually. Y'all don't actually think the mine is about to collapse, right? No, I don't think so. Phew, we worried for a second. I hate to give Tabitha any credit, but the mine is safer now than it was back then. Still, what a horrible thought.
You never know.
Alright. What I do know is that it's time for me to call it. Fuck. Jeez. You. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. I am really enjoying this game, and I can't wait to play more of it. Bye!